Okay, another month, we got to do another unit summarised. I mean, there's a lot of units in the Wargame, like what? Like over 1,000 now at this point. So there definitely must be something I can summarise. Let's see, let's take a look at the lovely armory. And, well, there's a lot of nations to pick from, so let's just, I don't know. Let's try USA. We could do USA, if I can actually pick it. Here we go. We got a lot of tanks, we've got some cool helicopters, but no, I've already done USA, haven't I? Yeah, yes I have, Rang. We could do East Germany. East Germany, best Germany. Doesn't rhyme, but it still is kind of true. No, I've already done East Germany, haven't I? How about the Netherlands? I mean, you can never forget the Netherlands. I mean, just look at this paid DLC nonsense. I've already done the Netherlands too. Which makes things rather bloody difficult. I need something to summarise. Well, if I do actually recall, there were some units I did forget, and I did make some glaring errors on, so let's take a look at that. For some reason I thought this was a seed plane. I don't know what I was smoking that day. How could I forget about the wonderful Danish reserve infantry? I mean, their bazooka's bloody super. I have no idea how I forgot to mention the Tomcat in the USA video. I really just want to make it clear. Yeah, Top Gun is without a doubt my favourite documentary. Though, I forgot, yes yo. I don't actually use the regular artillery for Israel. I just stick with MacMatch and the crazy rocket artillery that you get. For some reason, I call this a half track, even though you can fully tell it is 100% track on both sides. These walls are pretty wild, especially when they're flown by William Dafoe. This is not an Su-27, but in fact a MiG-29B. Or also an L-18. I call this a command helicopter. It just supplies units instead. Apparently I forgot naval? Naval? What is this, Age of Empires? No naval in this game. I mean, look. Let's go to the store. Let's go to the store page right now. Let's take a look. Scroll down here. Look, you got 17 nations on all the DLCs, 14,000 units, new planes, tanks, helicopters, warships, and okay, we know the amphibious units, we've seen them, but warships? Huh! Is this like some sort of like secret cheat code I gotta do? Like AABB? No? Oh, great. Nav. Holy shit, that's naval units. I thought it was just like the navigation tab. Wow. Yeah, there's quite a few big ships. Wow, I guess we do have something to summarise after all, yeah. Let's get going. Couldn't actually find a way to view the landing craft and the armory, so here we are. And here's the Redfall run. It's much cooler. A very expensive mortar piece. Pretty decent at keeping those aircraft array. It's so tiny. Not the largest dong I've ever seen. This guy is definitely ready for his anti-aircraft role. Same with this chap too, but he's backed up with some pretty big missiles. The AKs are starting to get ridiculously big. Hey, look, it's a Flying Dutchman. Only 2 harpoons. Yeah, good luck killing any ships with this. Redfall has some pretty good anti-ship ships. A pretty decent big ship for Bluefall. Stick one of these chaps in the middle of your fleet and you're gonna be shooting down all the missiles. The King of Congo, a fistful of seawater. Of course the French ship would look very fashionable. Luda! One of the smallest deep sea ships in game. There's only 10 of them, so it's not that much of an accomplishment. Don't give up the ship. Blackjack. The age-old Wargame Red Dragon naval debate. Which ship is better? The 500-point Sovereignty, or 500-point Udaloy 2, which are both the most expensive units in-game. Leave your pick in the comments below. A floating T-34. Pretty much the ATGM Jeep of the sea. I always found the resupply ships to be really cool, as you essentially had a floating FOB, and on maps with rivers, you could have your floating FOB really close to your frontline units. It's really quite awesome. I was not born with a silver spoon in hand. A modern day Greek fire ship. Really big floating FOB. Damn, that's a lot of supply. Time for a Shanghai showdown. I'm sure that recoilless rifle is going to help you a ton. It's got a dinky little tank cannon, it's got a dinky little autocannon, and some rockets. It's not the best rivercraft in the world, but for Redfall, you gotta take what you got. This unit, to me, idolizes what naval combat could have been, and really should have been, for Wargame Red Dragon. As the current problem, where no one, including me, has played naval in years, is because it's a sideshow. It happens off to the side of the map, and it's not really fun to engage in. It's not as fun as the actual land combat in Wargame Red Dragon, which is much more developed. But the STRB is the one exception to the rule. As Rena is a map with rivers, this is a really good unit, and a fun and balanced unit too, really. Because it's very powerful. It's got Hellfire missiles, it's got close range weaponry, and it's got high HP. But it can only do its thing around rivers, so it has limited traversability, mobility, really. So you can't just bring it around bloody everywhere. It's good for holding key areas, and that is really it. And really, that's what Wargame Red Dragon naval combat should have been. Just riverboat battles with smaller riverboats, with more rivers along certain maps that aren't as bridge choke pointy, such as goddamn 38th parallel or whatever before it was fixed. But yeah, it could have been much better if they just focused on that, in my book, as this is a really fun unit to use. And well, it's also the boat from Battlefield 4. It's may have been forever since I played naval combat, but I don't remember any of these goddamn planes. They're pretty much just regular planes, but with anti-ship missiles. Intruder with harpoons. Puma with some exosets. Yeah. Panther with some AS-15TTs or some big TTs. It's pretty cool because it has harpoons, but it can also do a little bit of fighting with 2-hole stingers. You pretty much just use this for suicide runs. Just get a tornado because it's much better. When the game first came out, you could only get the F-14 Tomcat within the naval tab, meaning that you never used the F-14 Tomcat. Thank God they fixed that and added it to the regular American air tab. It was just some scary looking penguins. America kind of has an F-18 fighter aircraft, kind of. Not as cool as the Nuke Fuck. I don't feel like I need to actually say anything. It just looks very funny. And Lynx has 4 missiles. This is a helicopter I've never seen before. It's like an Mi-8, but with 6 more. Funny how there's been all these planes that have never been used and just, yeah, in the game, but no one really knows they exist. Meh. Even more meh. I'm gonna lie, it's pretty hard trying to think of anything funny for, oh wait, it only has 1 missile. Just like the Real Super Retinard in regular Wargame. Alright guys, I got a plan. Just gonna let the Su-27 do all the hard work and we're gonna bug it. We only has 1 missile as well. Oh boy. Has always been a really cool aircraft in my book, and I'm also quite surprised at how many anti-ship missiles there are for just the airplanes and helicopters alone. Rory, the missiles are safe, they're painted orange. Okay, the ball's now in your court. When the game initially released, they didn't have these anti-ship ground vehicles at all. It wasn't until one of those free unit updates where they added them. But they were added way too late, so no one really knows they exist. But here they are. Looks like it should shoot a tactical nuke, but instead it just shoots termites. My favourite MOBA is just not playing any of them. Yes, I read it before. Yo bro, I never miss arm day, but I only have 1 arm. And this is a sea buster. It busts up the sea. See what I did, yeah? What? You thought I was just gonna end it off like that, making a crappy joke about an anti-ship truck that we've never used that's named after the best character from the hit children's TV show Arthur? No. There's more to summarize. We gotta summarize all the maps. It's a good map and a good movie. The control points on this map are very dirty. I mean, there's only an even amount of them. That's bad game design in my book. Nuclear winter has been coming for a long time now, but it's never arrived. Just fill the town full of commando Cs, have a teammate bring a Bertino, and GG, you already win. I remember it should always turn into a stalemate. Not really a fun map. Run lane only equivalent for Wargame Red Dragon. Welcome to the paddy fields, mother. One of the best maps to helicopter rush on. Hell is in a very small place, they just forgot about the rest of the map. Okay, I'll just get straight to the point with this one. it's a map. And considering we just covered naval units, we're also going to cover naval maps. It's still Ronsan Harbour, you just got some sea areas to go by now. We're even doing naval maps. I mean, do you guys remember the last time you've seen a naval map? I actually don't. Holy moly, that's a lot of zones to capture. This map right here is a really good example of what was the problem with Wargame's Red Dragon map design at release. As you can tell, the only way to really get to the enemy is by crossing a bridge, and it really is only 4 to 5 bridges, depending on which side you're on, to get to the enemy side and actually attack. Meaning that it's really easy to defend. You put defensive forces of ATGMs here, 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 and you're pretty much good to go. And it's just a stalemate where you're shooting across a river for 40 minutes. It's another paddy field. And this is a pretty fun map. I enjoy this run quite a bit. You got the open ground ATGM ship fest down below, the 1 lane fun time in the middle, and then some fun, you know, hill fighting in a town up north. Bit of everything for all sorts of factions. I'm not a big fan of this map. I really like the whole look and aesthetic of this battlefield, but considering once again it's an even amount of capture zones, it doesn't really make for engaging gameplay. This is absolute mayhem, but it's a lot of fun. Pretty damn decent. This has essentially been the DE Dust 2 of the Wargame series, so the Red Dragon installment has quite a few changes. Open the map. Stop having it be closed. Another D-Day in Paradise, more like foreshadowing for Steel Division, am I right? The only small point I want to make about this map is that it's rather large. Another naval map I've never played on. Bulldogs and vampires, more like muskets and harpoons. Think of anything witty to say about this jungle is rather tough. Apart from the bridges, this is a pretty cool map. Probably the most played map of Wargame Red Dragon. I think that's an accurate assumption to make. There's not many trees to hide behind, and you're gonna have to get used to that. But you got some nice hills. Still a pretty cool map. But we can play on the edge a bit more now. That's cool. Almost like due to the fact that the middle is a giant choke point that they really want you to use naval units to try and attack across the flanks. Too bad there's no naval units in this map, yo. The original version of this map, the 38th parallel, is absolutely terrible. But just by flipping the map 90 degrees, they turn it into a really fun battlefield. Still a pretty cool map, but now is more of a reason to go along the northern side, and not just for helicopter rushing. Feels like these really make you wish you had a line of sight tool. 1v run me at the crossroads, super heavy tanks only. Oh, cool, thanks for opening up the map. We can now use our naval units. So a tip I remember seeing quite a few people do is land ATGM infantry via helicopters or like naval transports on these islands and try to snipe ships like that. It didn't really work, but it's just rather funny. My favourite atoll, which is Bikini Atoll. It's a lot of water. It's just water. It's literally nothing else apart from water. It's just the entire map. It must have taken 5 seconds to make. Pick a command point, any command point. I hope you brought helicopter or amphibious units, because you're going to need them. Probably one of the worst proper maps of Wargame Red Dragon. Death Row is kind of a meme, it doesn't really count. As the entire map is just bridges, just bridges. It's choke point out. Like, good luck doing any sort of offensive action on this map, as it always turns into a stalemate unless one side is playing extremely poor. I once sent a column of Soviet armoured vehicles through this maze and they never came back. It wasn't that they were destroyed, they vanished. I never heard from them again. Korea doesn't rock, Korea pops. Cold War Z, a sequel to Road War Z. Or tried doing the helicopter rushes or amphibious assaults across this canal, but they never work. Oh boy, it's my favourite power plant map. Pretty much the same map, but I want to take this time to really appreciate how well done the detailing is in pretty much all of Eugene's games, especially Wargame and Steel Division. I mean, if you just zoom in into his power plant sector, just one area of this map, a rather dense area. It definitely looks like an industrial place. It doesn't seem like some contrived game nonsense. We got vehicles parked in parking zones. We've got all sorts of buildings with all different functions like silos and shipping containers and shipping container carriers, whatever they're bloody called. I can't think of the name of. I mean, these are really well done maps, and all Wargame maps, all Steel Division maps, are so bloody beautiful when you zoom in. I mean, you could turn them into armor maps, and it'd still be rather fun to play on. We never really see it all too often because we're zoomed out as far and we're just looking at icons, which is a bit of a shame. You can't drive anywhere without bumping into a command point. For anyone else, I'm not doing the 10v10 maps as I can't just load them up, and actually going into a 10v10 lobby and hoping it has the right map is a bit of a pain in the ass. But this is pretty much a 10v10 map, it's just been scaled down a bit. Yeah. Oh, hello, straight to the point. We're seeing you once again. Oh boy. And the final map we're going to be looking at is Smoke in the Water, which is definitely a very cool map. I mean, there's a bloody volcano in the middle, or deactivated volcano most likely. Anyway, it's a big bloody mountain. It is a really cool map thematically, because the whole idea is that you got to control the water rate, you got to control the channels. Having naval superiority is vitally important, because the only way to get to the middle landmass is either through helicopter transports or through marine amphibious landings, meaning that you have to control the bloody waterways to be able to get to the actual area to fight over. This is the valuable part of the map with all the bloody command zones. And it was a lot of fun trying to ferry troops across. It was a pain in the arse, of course, trying to get guys from your command zone into the actual battlefield area. But it means you have to play airborne and marine style decks to really get the most enjoyment out of this map. And what was also really cool was once you get here, you're not fighting super heavy tanks or just larger vehicles. It's all smaller amphibious vehicles, light vehicle fights and light vehicle skirmishing. It was a lot of fun just using smaller scale weaponry in such a battlefield. No one really wanted to play this map because it involved a lot of naval, and the naval aspect of it really sucked because naval combat wasn't entirely all that fun. But yeah, that's all the map summaries, apart from the proper 10v10 runs. I mean, what's next? I mean, I gotta summarize more stuff. There's so much more to summarize. I can summarize the campaigns, the menu screens, game modes, chat channels, tutorials, flags, control schemes, interface icons, actual war games, deck types, errors, coalitions, deck names, menu buttons, Steam guides, soundtracks.